Hello chess fans, this is Rick from Chess to Impress with number 84 in the series Viewers Games. This one is from Nicholas. Hey Rick, big fan. I'm very much a novice. A rating of 1050 on chess.com. I was playing white and I play the Queen's Gambit almost exclusively. I'm very interested in your analysis. I hope I linked the proper document. Thanks Rick, Nicholas. Let's have a look at Nicholas's game. He played against an opponent with the name of Ando Webando, and that person had exactly the same rating as Nicholas on chess.com, 1051. d4 from Nicholas, d5, c4, c6. We have a Slav defense on the board, knight c3, and now knight f6 is by far the most popular move, but black played bishop g4, and in my database that is the 10th most popular option. And what can we say here? Bishop g4 is not a bad move, but especially for novice players, a good rule of thumb is the knights before bishops rule. Develop your knights before you develop your bishops. You don't know if that bishop really wants to go to g4. It may want to go to f5, may want to go to d7, it may want to go to b7 later. And that's why it's good to develop your knights first. This knight really only wants to go to f6. It's very unlikely that there's a better square for that knight. Knight f3 is a very good move here, just developing another piece, but Nicholas decides to kick the bishop around. h3, bishop h5, g4, bishop g6. Again, it's not bad, but developing pieces and castling the king should be the first priority for someone of Nick's level. C takes d5, c takes d5. The bishop goes on the nice long diagonal, e6, and now again a move like knight f3 is called for, developing pieces, but Nicholas plays e4. Not such a good move. It gets quite complicated now. Black can try and win a pawn with d takes e4, knight takes e4, bishop b4 check, and if you interpose the bishop, then the pawn is hanging on d4, and we see something similar in the game. Black has won a pawn. But black decides to play bishop b4 first. And now we have to see that queen a4 check does not win a piece. We always have to check that. It's a double attack, check, and attacking the bishop, because black can solve both problems with knight c6, shielding the check and protecting the bishop. But that's always a move you have to look out for in this type of position. So queen a4 check does not work, and bishop d2 was played by Nicholas. And now black goes for that pawn win. D takes e4, knight takes, and queen takes d4, taking a pawn and protecting the attacked bishop on b4 at the same time. Again, white should develop a piece here, knight e2 with a tempo on black's queen, but Nicholas decides to retreat the knight, knight c3. And now black should develop. A move like knight c6 is a good move, but black plays his queen again, queen e5 check. And very logical would be to interpose the king's knight, knight ge2, shielding the check and at the same time developing a piece. You have to develop your pieces, you have to put your pieces into the game. But Nicholas decides to interpose the queen instead. And now queen takes e2 is a logical move, knight takes and knight c6, and black is just a pawn up. You have to see here that knight c6 straight away is a big blunder, because of a nice tactic. Bishop takes c6 check, taking away the protection of the queen. It's check, so you have to take the bishop back, and then your queen is hanging on e5. That's something to look out for. But after queen e2, black did not take on e2, did not blunder with knight c6. He made another bad move. He played queen c5, missing the power of this bishop. Not only is b7 hanging, but also the rook in the corner cannot be saved. And black does not even get the bishop back for it. It's a full rook that he's going to lose. Queen c5 was a real blunder. Knight c6, Nicholas took, and knight d4. Being a rook down, black tries to muddy the waters by attacking with his four pieces. White's king is in the middle, but white's king has enough defenders around him. You have to be careful of those four pieces attacking your king. Black may want to bring another piece into the attack, but if you're careful, if you play cautiously, then you should be fine with an extra rook. Queen d1, the queen was attacked. Bishop c2, attacking the queen again. Queen steps aside, no panic. And queen e5 check again. Now you have to be careful. I talked about interposing with the king's knight, developing a piece at the same time, which is almost always good, but there are exceptions, and this position is an exception. Knight ge2 would be a big blunder here, because of bishop takes c3, and white is busted in all variations. An obvious threat is queen takes e2, checkmate, and white will not survive this onslaught from the black pieces. So, as I said, we have to be careful. And Nicholas was careful. Knight ge2 is a blunder, but playing the other knight to interpose the check is a good move. Knight ce2 is fine here. It's threatening to swap another piece, which would be in white's advantage, but black completely misses that. He played knight f6, bringing another piece into the game, but oversees that his bishop on b4 is hanging. And Nicholas says, thank you very much, I'm going to take it. And now he's a rook and a bishop up, without any compensation. Black's attack doesn't have any venom. A rook and a bishop is too much material. I will give the remaining moves. Knight d5 from black, bishop back to c3, knight takes c3, b takes c3, and knight takes e2. Swapping pieces will not save black, but nothing will save black. He's too much wood down. Knight takes, bishop e4, and a very nice move here from Nicholas. Queen e3, winning more material. The point is that the bishop is pinned because the queen is unprotected, and now this bishop is attacked twice and only defended once. Black castled, what else is there? Queen takes e4, queen b8, bishop c6, queen b2, rook b1, that rook is protected nicely by the queen. Queen takes a pawn, a dying man can eat anything. Bishop b5, Nicholas is rerouting his bishop. a6, helping the bishop to go to d3 with a nice threat on h7, and black misses it. He should play g6 here, and then Nicholas can finally castle on the 28th move, bringing his last piece, his king's rook, into the game. But Nicholas' opponent missed the checkmate threat. He played a5, running with the a-pawn, but had missed that there is a checkmate in one in the position, and Nicholas had won this game. Well played, Nicholas. You really outplayed your opponent, who had the same rating as you did. I gave you a few pointers. I hope you can use those to your advantage to become an even better player. Thank you very much for sending me this game so I could share it with the Chess to Impress community. And I want to thank you, dear viewer, for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up, please subscribe to the Chess to Impress channel, and please leave a comment. If you liked the video, it would be great if you could share it on social media by clicking the share button on YouTube. If you would like your game to be analyzed, you can send it to me by email to classroomchess64@gmail.com. This is Rick for Chess to Impress. Thank you for watching.